Here's a GRE word problem. Let's take a look. Kelly took 3 days to travel from city C to city D by automobile. On the first day, Kelly traveled 2/5 of the distance from city C to city D. On the second day, she traveled 2/3 of the remaining distance. Which of the following is equivalent to the fraction of the distance from city C to city D that Kelly traveled on the third day? Okay, so let me just put down an idea here first. The distance that she traveled on the third day is what's left over after the first and second days, right? Because we know it was a 3-day trip. So if we take out what she traveled on the first and second days, what she has left over is the third day. Just something to keep in mind here. So we could represent this visually, right? With these two cities. You got city C and city D, and we could say that the distance between them is 1, right? That's the entire trip. So on the first day, we travel 2/5 of this distance, right? That's right about there, shy of 1/2, right? So that distance is 2/5, and that's on day 1. So immediately we think to ourselves, how much is left over, right? How much is left over after this trip? Well, 3/5, right? 3/5 of the distance is left over. And if we're, again, keeping track with the answer options here, we start with 1 for all of these. We're looking for what's left over after the first and second day. So we subtract out the first day, subtract 2/5, and all of these answer options do that, right? So it's the next part that's going to be a little more difficult. We know that this is day 1, right? There's day 1. And that on the second day, we travel 2/3 of the remaining distance, right? Well, what is the remaining distance? It's 3/5, also known, I'm going to write this as 1 minus 2/5. Everyone with me on that, right? 3/5 is 1 minus 2/5. That's how we got 3/5, right? So the remaining distance is 1 minus 2/5, or 3/5, and we're going to travel 2/3 of that, right? So that's day 2, and here is day 3, what we're looking for. Now, to find day 3, we just subtract out day 1 and day 2. We subtract out 2/5 as we do for all this, and then we subtract out 2/3 of this, or this, right? So I'm going to write that. 2/3 times 1 minus 2/5. And it's very clear then that the answer option that works for this is answer option D, right? Because we started with the whole, we started with 1, we subtracted out day 1, and then we subtracted out 2/3 of what was left, right? 1 minus 2/5. Now, if fractions aren't super intuitive for you, here's another option that you could have used. You could have, if you really wanted to, just said that the distance is 100 and assigned numbers to these, and then done the work of calculating actually how much it is and seeing which one of these yields a fraction that's equivalent to that. But I think it's much, much easier to look at the answer options and just kind of eyeball them as you go and see which one is saying what you want it to say. Correct answer here is D. For more GRE tips and tricks or to sign up for my live online course, follow the link on my profile.